All right, we'll continue with today's media availabilities with the defending race winner here at Pocono and 2017 Daytona 500 champion Kurt Busch. Kurt is driving the number 41 Haas Automation Monster Energy Ford here at Pocono and has 3 career wins in the Cup Series here at Pocono. Kurt, a big win, big weekend here for Monster Energy with the Free Friday going on today, the autograph session going on a little later today. Can you talk about just kind of being involved with that and what you think of the Free Friday concept?
Yeah, I think it's great to see more and more of what Monster can do at track and what the tracks can do with Monster Energy. There's so many unique elements that they bring, and this is great to put cans in our fans' hands and to be able to put a recycle initiative to it. You know, that always connects back when you're going green. So it's easy to go green when you have Monster Green with you. It's fun. We'll have an autograph session later on with all the fans in the midway, and it's a perfect setting too on a Friday to kind of kick the weekend off. Fridays are a bit more relaxed, and then we jump into the more intense Saturday practice sessions, and then of course big day on Sunday. So looking forward to it, and it's fun to see the track here at Pocono working really close with Monster and trying to find new ways and new things to get our fans connected.
Awesome. With that, we'll open up for questions. We'll start right here. Dustin?
Dustin Albino, FrontStretch.com. Kurt, obviously Storehouse Racing went back to Ford this year. How's the chemistry with the other 4 teams so far?
Right away at Daytona, everybody from Ford, Etzel Ford, Henry Ford, Mark Fields when he was our CEO, everybody was there at Daytona. And there was a big meeting about how we need to start with the teams working together at the restrictor plate tracks. And then as we move forward, the 1.5 miles, we've got the short tracks. There's little things that we've been doing at SHR versus what Penske's been doing, or Roush, or RPM. And so we want to try to share the information, but at the same time, you gotta keep the technology in-house. And so Ford has a nice balance of what they've asked us to do and how we're all sharing information moving forward. So really unique with having Doug Yates as our engine builder. He's really smart. He's on top of everything. And so whether it's the oiling system, the water cooling system, different gear ratios and things, we've been working on those. And gear ratios will be big this weekend here at Pocono because we have the ability to change our transmission ratios for the restarts and the pace that's being set. So we'll see how that goes.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net and Performance Racing Network. Obviously, after getting married, throwing the party of the year, and then winning the Daytona 500, it's time to focus on racing this weekend. But what's this past 6 months been like? I've seen you on the red carpets and polo matches and just interacting, but in other aspects of your life. You seem really happy. How's this been?
It's been amazing. Started with Cubs winning the World Series last November, and just enjoying the ride. Winning the Daytona 500 a month after I got the most beautiful ring and the beautiful woman in my world. It's like drop the mic, walk away. Everything's perfect, and my contract and everything at SHR is fantastic, and I love NASCAR racing, and she's been there supporting me every bit of the way, and it's great for me to jump out of the NASCAR world and jump into her world and support her with her modeling and polo. And we were in New York City all last week. She was on some TV shows and things talking about the Veuve Clicquot Classic and playing polo with Nacho, the big Ralph Lauren model. It's really neat. It's a fun world, and she knows the focus that I have to give to the race car and this team because I see it with the focus that she gives her team with the horses, with her trainers, the travel. It was fun. Right after that big New York City event, I'm back there with the trainer and the horses, packing up the trailer like it was our old late model team and sending them back to Virginia. So it's been fun.
Go ahead.
Robbie Mays, MRN. Kurt, Richard Petty's 80th birthday is coming up in about 4 weeks. Do you have a favorite Richard Petty memory or story from your career?
Yeah, is it 4 weeks away? I feel like we've been celebrating all year, but he's our king. He deserves a full year of celebration, being the 80th birthday. Congrats to Richard Petty, and a true pioneer of our sport, our king. 200 race wins, 7 championships, and the legacy that the Petty family has is incomparable. And so it's neat that he's still here and autographs every week. I mean, he's the most charismatic, and his personality is so big. Every time you see him at the track, he's got his hat and sunglasses on, and he's just happy-go-lucky. And yet he is the face of our sport when it really comes time to branching it back to the past. And so my favorite story with him, or my favorite moment, was watching him win his 200th at Daytona and having chicken with President Reagan. I mean, that doesn't happen every day. And the time I got to meet him at Richard Petty Motorsports in Level Cross, North Carolina, that was a big moment of walking into King's office and being there where, you know, the history and a big anchor of our sport has been rooted. It was really neat to go to his office and share a moment with him there.
We'll go to Zach and then to Chris.
Zach Sterniola with the Pocono record. Kurt, obviously you've had plenty of success here, but also coming off what looked like a good weekend at Dover last weekend. Looks like you had a good car there before getting caught up. What are your expectations coming into this weekend? It seems like you've been running better these last few weeks. Where do your expectations lie coming into this weekend?
You know, our expectations are high, but we have to keep them in perspective. Yes, we have run well the last few weeks, and it's been a matter of changing the car's dynamic balance as far as our setup to match the aero changes. We've found some things in the wind tunnel that have helped us understand the difference with our Ford versus where we were at this time last year with the GM car. And so balancing those things, that's helped us, and I think we turned a good corner at Texas. We've been cranking out top 10s, but we haven't been cranking out top 5s. And so I was pushing really hard last week, and the car stepped out. I took it beyond its limits, and it's because we're right there. We're solid top 10 when things go our way, but we're not top 5, and that's what I'm pushing for. And this is a great track for us to come back to because we won here last time, but it's one of my favorites, and just balancing out where we are with the team, the setups, and if we can get a top 5 this next week, that'd be great, but of course we're going for the win.
Go ahead, Chris.
Chris Knight, CatchFans.com. Kurt, I was just curious what you thought about Bubba Wallace making his Cup Series debut this weekend, and have you followed his career as he's transitioned from trucks to Xfinity and now Cup?
I think it's great. It's a big moment for our sport. And, you know, some of the interviews I did in New York City this week, just promoting NASCAR in general, and some of the questions that pop up are about diversity and why isn't there more of a look of different drivers or a feel. And, you know, I think it's perfect because our sport welcomes anybody at any time, male, female, no matter what their ethnic background is, where they're from, whether they came from sports cars or rally cars. But Bubba's rise through the top with the Drive for Diversity program, along with Max Siegel, I think it was a perfect stepping stone for him all the way through. And then to hear that the Roush Fenway guys don't have the budget for him for the rest of the Xfinity season, this makes perfect sense. And I would say, looking at it all from the outside, I'm glad that Ford stepped in to try to make this happen for him and RPM.
Any additional questions for Kurt? Oh, we'll go here.
Hey, Kurt, how are you?
Great.
Ross Lippman with ABC 27 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Similar to celebrating Richard Petty this season, it's been a season-long celebration for Dale Jr. as well. Obviously, he's among the most popular in the sport. Have you noticed anything in particular, though, about the way fans are receiving him this year? It's been a full calendar year since he's been here because he was out for the Pennsylvania 400 in August.
I mean, any time that we're at the track and you see Dale Jr. and the swarm of fans around him, it's an incredible feeling because he's the one that has taken our popularity of NASCAR to this level that we enjoy today. And I think the fans are in the mood of giving back and showing more appreciation to Dale Jr. and recognizing the career that he's had and the highlights that he's won and things that he's done off the track. And most importantly, though, it's a chance for the fans to see him one last time at their track, you know, at Pocono here, and next week will be Michigan. And then we go out to Sonoma. That'll be his final race out there at the Sonoma road course. But just in general, I think fans are really wanting to just say thanks to Dale Jr. for being our most popular ambassador of our sport for the last 2 decades.
Go ahead. We'll wrap up here.
Dave Smith, T102 Radio in Pottsville. Do you have a favorite turn here at Pocono or a least favorite?
Favorite turn? Turn 1 is by far the most fun. And with the restarts that we have going down the front straightaway, sometimes 5 wide, you're always trying to find that slot to get back in line. Turn 2, if you're fast through there, the 3 times that I've won here, I felt like my fastest corner was turn 2. And then turn 3, it's changed over the years on how they put the strip of asphalt in the high lane for a few years, the way the curb and the bottom of the groove in turn 3 has changed. I mean, each time around, it seems like there's one that jumps out that's different than the rest. But favorite corner, turn 1.
Kurt, thanks for stopping by, and good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.